Hi guys, I'm here with my second challenge for National Scrapbooking Day. I'm going to show you which one I'm doing next, which is challenge number 4, which is a member-based color combo. Not sure if it's going to come up very well on the video, but it's a navy blue, a bright green. Yeah, it's kind of coming out more dark than what it actually is. It's a navy blue, a bright green, a yellowy green, or greeny yellow, and a gray. And then this is the sample project, and so that's the color that we're supposed to use pardon me, as our inspiration. And so there's a lot of these colors in the Studio Calico April kit and the Citrus Twist March kit, which is what I've been scrapbooking with for the past month. And my new kits are going to come this coming week. I already have the Citrus Twist kit, but I haven't started using it yet. So I'm going to dig into my kits and pick out anything with those navy blues and greens and yellows in it. I also went through my washi stash and I got these blues. I got these greens. I think I'm going to use a lot of washi tape. Then this is that kind of greeny yellow or yellowy green, and then this is yellow, and I'm not sure which I'm going to use or if I might use all of those shades of yellow. Pardon me. I guess I'm coming down with a cold. And then I have a silver and a gray to represent the gray. And obviously I don't think I'm going to use all of these unless if I go really crazy with the washi. But I might use an assortment, and I might use kind of like washi tape instead of pattern paper at some point. I'm not too sure. So I'm just going to kind of roll these to the back by my sewing machine, and they can just stay there. Then the other thing that I did was I pulled out my gray patterned paper. This is how I've been storing patterned paper lately. I've always stored it by manufacturer with these little tabs, but now my miscellaneous paper that doesn't have a collection to go with it, I'm also storing this way, and so these are my blacks and grays. And so I'm just looking for a gray that's going to I love this paper. If I had a piece of paper like that, I would use it. I think that paper is coming to me. I believe it's from L Studio. But anyways, that broad stripe. But so this one is too dark. But I want to kind of use a gray as my background like this person did. But I'm not going to scrap lift that. I'm just going to use a gray background. And so like this, I think this would make a nice background paper. It's just a really subtle pattern, and it's just enough to make it a little bit of a gray look. And I think that works well with my photo. I also think my photo works really well with these colors because of all the green and gray in the photo. So I'm going to go put my gray paper back now that I found one. I just pulled these out because I knew that neither of my kits have gray in them, so I wanted to pull that out. Well, there is a gray. There's a solid gray in the Studio Calico kit this month. That's just cardstock. I wanted to use pattern paper. So that's probably going to be my background. And now I'm going to put you on fast forward. So I'm having a look at my Studio Calico kit first, and I pulled out that vellum because it's gray. I pulled out any of the green speech bubbles, and I pulled out the navy blue cardstock and that navy blue bubble paper, which is by Studio Calico. And those are all the colors that I can find in the kit that go with the color scheme that is set out in the challenge. And so also the gray washi tape from that kit, and I thought that Best Friends sticker also had the green in it, so I'm putting that aside as well. I might use it, but I end up not using it. So now this is the Citrus Twist kit, and the green twine or string that the kit was actually wrapped up in is a nice color green. And I'm having a look at the stamps, and I see the Dreaming one, which the dog is kind of snoozing there, so I thought that was a good stamp that came in the kit. And then I'm just having a look at some of the other things. That yellow paper fits with the color scheme, as does, and that's from Dear Lizzie, the Fifth and Frolic collection. And then that green paper with stars on it is from the Studio Calico Darling Dear collection, and it came in the Citrus Twist kit too. So also those beach bubbles by Studio Calico came in the Citrus Twist kit. It's a little confusing because There's Studio Calico products in the Citrus Twist kit, so I know it's a little bit hard to know which one I'm talking about. Here I am just experimenting with some other yellows to use. That yellow there is from the Snippets collection. It has tiny little pink hearts in it. Um, and now I'm going through the Dear Lizzie collection because I knew that the Lucky Charm collection also had some yellows. And then that yellow there is from Maggie Holmes, as is the big blue polka dots. And now I really like this color scheme quite a bit better, this one right here, but I don't end up going with it. I actually love that. That's beautiful. Um, but I can't remember why I decided to change to the other one. It could have just been a matter of wanting to use up these kits because I know the other kit is on the way. Um, but yeah, so I thought those bold circles in blue would make a really cool contrast on the page. But I didn't end up going with them. I decided to stick with these navy blue bubbles instead. And so here I'm not necessarily thinking about layout design here. I'm just thinking about amounts of each paper when I lay them out like this. I knew I wanted this green piece of paper to be square to kind of reflect the fact that the photo is square, and I wanted a strip of the hexagon paper, so I just cut that with my ruler, or tore it with my ruler. And so basically I'm just kind of creating a bunch of scraps that I'm going to put together to fit with the color scheme. And I liked how that extra speech bubble paper, which is from Studio Calico and came in the Citrus Twist kit, just adds another level of, just another shade of navy blue. It just adds a bit of interest. And so I am going to outline all of the papers in this layout just to that I'd like it kind of gives a finished look to the pages, and it also adds some contrast between some papers that might otherwise blend in. And I do that a lot. I've been, trying to purposely not do it as much as I normally would, just so I have a bit of a different look on some of my layouts. But and here I'm just layering these from the top down. I usually kind of take it all apart and start at the bottom and layer up, but when I layer from the top down, you don't have to take things apart so much. This paper, by the way, I don't think I ever mentioned, is from crepe paper from the Storyteller collection. This is that piece of gray paper I got from my stash. And I just left a part of the paper not outlined so that I could have a bit of embellishment there and have the lines be interrupted to just kind of emphasize the fact that there's a little cluster of embellishments there. This is where I'm going to use the speech bubbles, and I'm going to layer each speech bubble with a piece of washi tape behind it. What that does is it just brings some of those three main colors from the color scheme up into the cluster up there. And I had to cut down the green arrow washi tape so it would fit within my, I didn't know how big of a gap to leave, and I ended up not leaving quite big enough. So I just trimmed down the green arrow washi tape. So now I'm going to use that Dreaming stamp that I showed you before. I'm using Stays On ink, and I'm just putting it below the Take Note speech bubble. It just adds a bit of dark element up there, as well as it fits with the theme of the sleeping dog. He's not actually sleeping in the picture, but he is having a little snooze. So what am I doing here? Oh yes, I'm making a little flag. This is a paper clip that I got at Staples, and I just bought a whole huge package of them years ago, and I'm still working my way through them. And so I took the striped washi tape that's by Heidi Swap, and I just kind of wrapped it around the paper clip, and I'm putting the paper clip on sideways so that the flag kind of hangs down vertically. And now I'm putting washi tape strip on the bottom and a washi tape strip on the top. I had to remove one of those speech bubbles in order to do that, to make the layering proper. And yeah, I ended up not, like, the washi tape doesn't go all the way across the top, and I wanted it to not go all the way across the bottom either. So I'm going to go back and tear off that washi tape, but I think I might have done it off screen. I can't tell from this angle whether I've done it yet or not. So now this was something that was just sitting on my desk. It's an old piece of Glitz Designs. It's not that old, but it's from a previous kit. It's just a paper garland from Glitz Designs. And so I just cut off one of the circles in the color that I wanted, and then I ended up actually flipping it over to the happy. It was just a bit too contrasty. I didn't want it to look like a pattern of like green and blue and green and blue and green and blue on top of each other. So I flipped it around to the more neutral side that said happy, and I like how that looks a little bit better. And I just layered it on top of that washi tape flag. Now I'm going to do my title work, and I picked, these are Amy Tangerine foam stickers, and I didn't have another O, so I just used a capital O, or it might be the number 0, I can't remember. So the title is going to be Snoozing. And I thought about, now that's a speech bubble from Studio Calico, and it has something written in the middle. I can't remember what was written in the middle, but it wasn't appropriate for the layout. Didn't fit with the theme. I think it might say hello you or something like that. So I just took a piece of Stampin' Up! Crumb cake paper, cut a strip so that it would just cover those words. And then now I'm going to get a chance to use some Zs, which I never use. So I'm taking these Jelly Bean Soup Navy Blue, which fits with my color scheme, and I'm just going to put Zs all over it, and then I'm going to put some little dots. So they're a little tricky to use, and I lost one of the, I had another dot and then I lost it somewhere, so I had to grab another one. And I'm going to work my way out from the middle so that this title will be centered properly. And that little S gave me a bit of trouble. The thing with the foam letter stickers is that they do sometimes get a little bit distorted if you're not careful about putting them down. So now I just finally glued my layers to the back yellow layer. And here, sorry I'm out of frame because my camera is still in the wrong place from the last video. I think I'm thinking about using that gray wide striped washi tape, but I don't like the look of it. It's too distracting, really. I like the clean lines of the square yellow paper and all the layers that go with it. So now I'm going to do some sprinkling of some inks, and I'm actually going to use the Mr. Huey's Gold, which I don't like as much as the Heidi Swap, but it does have a more yellowy look to it, so I thought it would fit a little bit better with the color scheme. Whereas the Heidi Swap one looks quite orangey because it's very, very gold. And so this one it's still orangey, but it's a little bit more yellow. It doesn't really matter. It's just I have both, so I want to make sure I get to use up the Mr. Huey's when I can, because I do prefer the Heidi Swap, and there's no doubt that I'll use that up. So, and now the other color I'm using here is called Estate Green, and it's a bright green that I don't use very often. So again, a chance to use something I don't use very often. Got to use up those supplies whenever you have a chance. And so now that my sprinkles are enough that you're going to see them, so I did have to kind of go back and add a few more. You might have seen me punch those little green hearts, and that's because I planned to kind of hide those amongst the sprinkles. And now I'm using another heart punch. These are both confetti heart punches from Martha Stewart, and I made a little bunch of string there that I thought I was going to use. I didn't end up using either the heart punches or the little bundle of string, but I'm going to wrap string around a part of the layout, and I'm doing it sort of after the fact here, so it's a little bit more awkward than it probably needs to be. I'm going to tie it, and then it's too bulky, so I'm going to end up moving it around so that the tie is in the back, which is pretty obvious, but I didn't think of that when I was doing it. And now I'm just gonna, now that it's turned around so that the knot is in the back, I'm just moving it up, and I'm using my tiny attacher to keep the twine from shifting around too much, and also as another element on the layout. Now I'm going to use pop dots on the edges and just regular adhesive in the middle. That'll just give a little bit of lift. And here I'm thinking about using those hearts, and I'm not gonna. Basically, I needed something big. There was a big blob of gold there that didn't look so good, so that's what made me decide to use these
well, I was going to use the hearts, and then I decided to use these little pearls by Bo Bunny. I bought these at a crop because it was a dangerous thing at a crop where there's a store because I needed a speck of navy blue someplace. So I bought a package of Bo Bunny pearls just so I could have a speck of navy blue. So, anyways, that gives me a chance to use those up as well. I put them in three different places. Just so that to kind of make a triangle around my layout. One down by the happy flag and one up in the corner and then another one over by the title. Did my journaling and now I'm using a roller date stamp that says Instagrammed May 2nd, 2013. There's that was my journaling really quick. It's just basically we were building a treehouse and Charlie was sitting in the shade there between the two huge boulders that have a little bit of space. There's the top cluster with those really cute Bo Bunny pearls. I never buy Bo Bunny, but those are really nice. I like them. Just a random close up. I'm not sure why I took that picture. um, and yeah, so thanks so much for watching this process video, guys. Take care and happy National Scrapbooking Day.